The scent of basil and sun-dried tomatoes used to be my comfort, a reminder of the life Julian and I built. Now it was just the smell of an impending battle. My name is Elara Vance, and I'm 30. Last month at a family dinner, my parents, Sylvia and Robert, shattered the peace. "That store is a free house," my mother snapped, slamming her fork down. "Sell it to your brother Gavin, or you're no longer our daughter." The room went silent. Gavin smirked, confident in his victory. The store, the Gilded Fork, was Julian's legacy, valued at $700,000, and my parents thought I'd crumble under their ultimatum. I just smiled, stood up, and walked out. They had no idea what was coming. 7 years ago, I met Julian Hayes at a bustling Birmingham art fair. He was a whirlwind of easy laughter and big ideas. We connected instantly, talking for hours about design and sustainability. He was a doer, a man with a vision. He dreamed of opening a natural food store in 5 Points, a place where the community could gather. I was a freelance graphic designer, but his passion was contagious. Together, we poured our hearts into the store. Julian handled the business, securing a $300,000 loan and negotiating with suppliers. I designed the logo, built the brand, and gave it a warmth that felt like us. We talked about kids, a bigger home, a chain of stores. It felt like forever. Then, one stormy night, it all fell apart. Julian was driving back from a supplier when a truck ran a red light. The police called at 1 a.m. By the time I raced to the hospital, he was gone. Grief was a suffocating weight, but I kept the store running. Letting go would have meant letting him go. Growing up, I was invisible to my parents. They lavished all their attention on Gavin, their golden child. At 12, I won a state art competition, but they missed the award ceremony for his baseball tryouts. In high school, they bought him a brand new car while I worked part-time to afford a second-hand laptop for my design work. His C average report cards earned glowing praise. My straight A's got a shrug. When I earned a scholarship to college, they didn't even attend my graduation. Julian was different. He saw my talent, cheered my victories, and believed I could do anything. Losing him left a void no one else could fill. My parents, however, saw the store as mere an asset, a cash machine for their favorite. They assumed I'd fold under their pressure like I always had. But this time, I wasn't that overlooked kid anymore. Julian's memory gave me strength, and I wasn't about to let them take what we had built. A week after that tense dinner, everything shifted. I sat in a small office across from my lawyer, Mr. Chen. He slid a document across the desk. "This is Julian's will," he said, his voice steady. "He left the store to you, Elara, legally and fully." But there was something else. Tucked inside the will was a sealed envelope. "Julian gave me this to give to you, and only to you, if anything ever happened. It's a contingency plan." I opened the letter, my hands trembling. It was Julian's elegant handwriting. "My dearest Elara, if you're reading this, it's because I'm not there to protect our dream. This isn't just a store. It's a key. The land it sits on is the last undeveloped plot in 5 Points. There's a development deal in motion. Your family, they'll come for it." My heart pounded as I read on. He had left me an escape plan, a legal trust with a single purpose, to protect the store from predatory development. Julian knew this day would come. The store wasn't worth $700,000 to them. The land was worth millions to the right buyers. My family wasn't just being greedy, they were orchestrating a real estate scheme. 2 days later, my parents and Gavin showed up at my apartment. They pushed past me, settling on my couch like they owned the place. "We heard about the will," Sylvia said, her eyes narrowed. "Gavin has a chance to invest in a major real estate deal. That store is a prime location. It's only fair you give him what he deserves." Gavin smirked from the corner. "Come on, Elara. We'll tear that old place down and put up a high-rise. I could make millions." Their words felt like a punch. They weren't interested in Julian's legacy. They were ready to bulldoze it. "I'm not selling," I said, my voice firm. "Julian's will is ironclad."
"You're being selfish, just like you always are," my father, Robert, spat. "Don't make us choose between you and your brother." The threat didn't faze me. I knew the truth now. The store was a pawn in their game. I closed the door behind me, a new resolve hardening in my chest. I wasn't fighting for money. I was fighting for Julian's memory. My best friend Chloe showed up later with takeout and a fierce look in her eyes. "Don't let them get to you," she said. "They're trying to break you down." Her support was a lifeline. I shared Julian's secret with her, the one about the real estate deal and the trust. We decided to fight back on our own terms. I wouldn't sell the store, not even to a third party. I would use Julian's plan. A week later, on a crisp Friday morning, my family and a slick realtor, Gina, stormed into the store. "Enough games, Elara," Sylvia declared. "Gina has a buyer ready. Sign the papers today." Gavin stepped forward, a smug look on his face. "This is it, Elara, the end of your little art project. My investment group wants to start demolition next month." I looked at their greedy faces, their eyes gleaming with expectation. This was their moment of triumph. But I just smiled. "You might want to hold off on that paperwork," I said calmly. Just then, the bell above the door chimed, and Mr. Davis, the head of the local community trust, walked in. "Good morning, Elara," he said, and then turned to my family. "I'm here to finalize the donation of this property to the 5 Points Community Preservation Trust." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. My mother's mouth dropped. My father froze. Gavin's smirk vanished, replaced with a look of pure shock. "What do you mean?" Sylvia stammered. "We can't just donate it without telling us." "I didn't need your permission," I said, my voice firm. "Julian and I created this place as a gift to this community. You wanted to tear it down. I chose to save it. And I'm not leaving." I revealed my own surprise. "I'll be leasing the upstairs space for my design studio, becoming a partner in the trust's vision. I'm staying right here." Gavin was red-faced, pointing at me. "You ruined everything! That was the key to my whole deal!" "Business is business, Gavin," I replied, using the same callous words he'd used on me for years. "You should have known that by now." Gina, the realtor, clearly out of her depth, started packing her papers. "I was not informed of any trust," she muttered, glancing at my mom. "This changes everything." As they turned to leave, their dreams of a high-rise crumbling around them, I felt a weight lift. The store was no longer a burden. It was a beacon. I wasn't its owner, but I was its protector. The fallout was swift. My family's real estate deal collapsed. The public quickly learned of their plot to tear down a beloved local business. Gavin became a pariah, his business reputation in tatters. My parents, now ostracized by the community, sold their house and left Birmingham, their silence a final act of rejection. I focused on my own path. My studio upstairs was a sanctuary, a place where I could create without interference. The community embraced me fully. Mrs. Babel stopped by with homemade cookies, telling me, "You've always been the true heart of this family, Elara." Mr. Davis gave me a seat on the community trust board. The Gilded Fork was now a permanent fixture, hosting art classes, farmers markets, and community meetings. My design business, Vance Creative, flourished. People wanted to work with the woman who stood up for her principles. I felt a sense of purpose I'd never known. I hadn't just protected Julian's legacy, I'd honored it in the most profound way possible. I thought of Julian often, of the life we'd planned. He'd believed in me when I doubted myself, and this store, this studio, was my way of honoring him. It was a testament to choosing myself over guilt, over pressure, over a family that never saw my worth. My life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, built from courage and conviction. I smiled, my hands resting on the smooth oak of the studio's table. My story wasn't just about winning a battle. It was about finding my own voice and building a legacy on my terms, one that Julian would have been proud of. If you've ever had to stand up to your family for what's right, share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories of strength and courage.